I'm just going to read some quotes Zion Williamson said earlier today. So here goes. We came up with a plan from boxing to working out on the football field, a lot to just different random workouts, Williamson said. And during that time frame last year, I really felt a shift in my body to where I would look at him and go, dude, it feels good to feel good. I haven't felt like this since college, high school, just where I can walk into a gym and I feel good. And here's a few more quotes in which he talked about meeting up with the front office during the off season. We sat down and we had some man-to-man conversations. Williamson said they embraced me. I just told them, I'm not going to let y'all down. If they believe in me that much, it helped a lot. It helped a lot that they really believed in me. And like I said, man-to-man conversations, they are going to hold me accountable. But with that accountability, they're giving me a lot of responsibilities, and I'm here for it. So I will say this regarding Zion Williamson. I've seen the pictures and some of the videos today of him, and he does look like he's in the best shape of his NBA career. That I can see it just from his body shape. You can even see in his face that the fat in his face is like thinned out. That's a sign that he has been taking this seriously and getting in shape. So I'll give him that. Kudos to him for actually coming in shape for the first time. So, like I said, I commend him for that. But I really wonder, like, going forward, is this going to be like a new Zion we're going to see for the rest of his career, or is this like a one-time deal? That's why I'm skeptical about it. I'm sure he's going to put up great numbers this upcoming season due to being in great shape, but I need to see this consistently from Zion, not just for this season, but I need to see it next year too before I become like a believer of Zion being this changed man and just serious about being a star player. So to me, like, I'm not sold on it yet. I think Zion is interesting because he reminds me a lot like Derek Coleman. Not to say that their games are similar, but Derek was this power forward who had a lot of potential to be a Hall of Famer when he started his career. And I think everybody believes he would have been a Hall of Famer if he actually cared about basketball and took it seriously, but he didn't. But what's interesting about Coleman was the first 4 or 5 years of his career, he was like in good shape. Like, he was in great shape for the first 4 or 5 years. He was putting up great numbers. And then after like year 5, he decided not to give a shit anymore. He became super fat. He was the butt of jokes. And he never really took it seriously again, except for one season he was in Charlotte where he decided to lose the weight and get in shape. And for that one season, he had like a career turnaround, but it didn't last long term because after that season, he became super fat again and he just didn't care. And I just wonder if Zion Williamson is going to be similar to Derek Coleman in that regard, that this is like a one-time deal, but after this season, we see him just blow up again. So, like I said, I need to see consistently, but if Zion stays in shape, yeah, he could turn around his career. He's still a very young guy. I think he's only like 24, 25, somewhere in that age range. So he could still turn it around, but I feel this is the last chance he's going to have to do it. If he stays healthy, the guy that Zion has always reminded me of is actually Larry Johnson, Charlotte Larry Johnson. That is not the New York Knicks Larry Johnson. Charlotte Larry Johnson was a star player who was going to be a superstar if he didn't have the back injuries he suffered from. He was the same height, same size that Zion is. Zion may be a little bit bigger, but he had the same type of, physical makeup. 6'7", super strong, super athletic, high flyer, above the rim, very physically imposing, could post you up in the post, had a lot of great post moves. That's who Zion reminds me of. That's who I think he can be long term if he stays healthy. Now, I will say, even if he stays healthy, one of the biggest weaknesses in Zion's game is his defense. I don't think he can ever be a great defender, But if he works at it, I think he can become a average defender. I think he has the potential to become average at being a defensive player for sure. So it will be interesting to see just Zion, not just this season, but upcoming seasons. But offensively, when healthy, he's the complete package. I feel he can do it all. He can score in the paint. He's a great playmaker, and yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So hopefully he takes it seriously because it's better for the NBA when guys like Zion decide to play up to their potential because it makes the games more interesting. It makes the league more competitive. And if we're being honest, the league needs more American stars. Like you don't have that many American superstars who are legit anymore today. Especially look at the NBA Finals. You had SGA, who's Canadian, who can make an argument for being the best player of the league, and then you have Jokic, who can make the argument for being the best player of the league. You don't have any American guys stepping up to that mantle. Like Anthony Edwards, he's been pretty good the last few years, but I wouldn't say best player in the league. Zion, maybe if he works at it, he could possibly be the best player in the league, but we have to see. But it would be nice to see more American players step up to the plate and dominate this league. So yeah, let's see what happens with Zion.